You're not rotting your mind watching some YouTube shorts. In fact, you're going to actually learn something here. And though I would admit that it is kind of useless, like most of the internet time of us car guys is, but still, it is kind of interesting and fun. So, anyways, so we all have seen this episode of Top Gear and know for a fact that killing a Toyota is simply beyond impossible. And yet, the US government has done it and have done it in the most inhuman and cruel ways. And as a car guy, this shit breaks my heart, really. So what they did is they created some mix which they mix in the oil and run the car for 15 minutes. And as the oil heats up, the thing freezes and it expands. So it essentially blows up the engine. So it is like putting an injection in someone's body, and as it mixes with the blood, it blows all the nerves. Horrid way of killing a person. And why were they doing it? Because after the 2008 recession, no one was buying new cars. So to give a boost to the auto industry and also save the environment, the government launched this massive $3 billion campaign known as Cash For Clunkers. The idea being that if you bring an old car which has an EPA mileage of less than 18 miles per gallon, and if you decide to buy a new car whose EPA mileage is more than 22 miles per gallon, you're gonna get something between $3,500 to $4,500 off of the MSRP of new car. While I was flying through Asia, a Buddhist monk told me that a good deed is never lost. So if you subscribe to a small YouTube channel, the chances of you getting your dream car increases by about 500%. And this campaign was as successful as your ex pretending to be caring. So let's start with the environment bit first. In total, this campaign saved about 4.4 million metric tons of CO2 from getting into the environment. And now, just like your ex, it may look good, but it is actually not. And it may look good, but it only accounted to about 0.4% of total car emissions in the US. And if you take into consideration the actual process of building a car, it is actually quite environment harming. For example, the factories require electricity, which they get from burning fossil fuels. The workers that are working in those factories have to travel to it, and they do it by burning fossil fuels. And also the process of creating steel in itself causes so much pollution. And if you take already the negligible 0.4% of emission savings and add the emissions generated by the process of creating a car, well, I think it is safe to say that this whole campaign hurted more than it actually helped to the environment. And regarding boosting the auto industry, well, there are numerous researches which suggest that the people who bought cars during this campaign would have bought them anyways in the coming months, even without any incentives. So the program didn't really had a significant impact in boosting the sales of cars. In fact, what it did was it completely decimated the used car market. And after the program ended, the average price of a used car went up to as much as about $2,000. This happened because had there been no such thing as Cash For Clunkers, almost 700,000 cars would have gone to the used car market instead. But what happened was they completely destroyed the engines and crushed the bodies. So what happens when the demand stays the same but supply is less by about 700,000 units? Well, of course the price will go up, and it did. But the thing is, this whole used car market demolition could have been very easily saved if the government had done this one little thing. And what is frustrating is that while doing research for this video, I found no one has nowhere talked about this. So you are one of the first or one of the only 30 to 40 people that are going to know this information in the world. So what they could have done is, instead of completely destroying the cars, they could have used VIN numbers, which are unique numbers assigned to every vehicle ever sold. And they could have used those numbers to check if the car has been already used in this campaign. So if a car comes to them or the dealers, they could just check the VIN number in the database, and if it's already present in the database, that means the car is ineligible. There you go, 700,000 cars saved. And this led to the sad and completely inhuman demise of thousands of LandCruisers, E39 3 Series, M3s, 5 Series of that generation, even the legendary mid-engine supercharged Toyota minivan, the Previa. Also many Mark 4 and Mark 3 Supras were destroyed in this campaign. Really, that is so sad, really. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe it. That would not be sad, that would be great.